Good morning to everybody. And first of all, I would like to thank the Swedish presidency for holding and hosting in this very prestigious university, Lund University. First time I had the chance to visit, and to thank all the organizers for this very successful event. I'm Marina Zanchi, as I said, the director of HaDEA, and I'm working since more than 30 years in the Commission, and I'm a lawyer as a background. So I take the opportunity to say the Euro Nano Forum is really one of the projects managed by HaDEA. And HaDEA is a European Health and Digital Executive Agency. I will say a few words afterwards about this relatively new, still young agency. The Euro Nano Forum started exactly 20 years ago in 2003. And is a series of conferences allowing all of us to share the knowledge, to share the experience, and to have an open dialogue between industry and academia, which is fundamental if we want to progress, if we want to have a successful Europe, a stronger leader in many fields. And now we have the opportunity to discuss in particular nanotechnologies and new advanced materials. And they do make an impact in our society. The political background is very clear to everybody. Europe's prosperity and Europe's economic competitiveness over the years are really at the stake. And to have that, we really have to assure the access to the critical raw material. It is said several times in the different meeting yesterday and also today. And we need to ensure that new technologies and the services, but not only that, we need to have secure and safe technologies and new materials for the industry as a whole. And the industry is really plays really a major role across all these priorities. So I will guide you a little bit because the theme of the session today is collaboration. And I would like to start to talk about the collaborative projects. The ones of you who already dealt with the framework programs, European framework programs in the past, in the present Horizon Europe, they know very well that collaborative projects, it's our main way of funding. Why? Because we do believe that working together, joining the forces, exchanging our knowledge, our experience, our expertise, and also putting together the resources, only in that way we can have a real impact. And easy demonstration was during the COVID. Europe was very successful. We have a very speed situation, recovering from the situation, because all the member states were working together with the same goal. Just to give a couple of examples very quickly, a project managed by HaDEA is Trineflex, with 26 organizations all around Europe working together with a total budget of 16 million euros. And they work together in order to optimize the use of energy, the processes and the resources in the energy-intensive industries like the glass, the copper, the aluminium. But HaDEA did something more. We put together more than 40 projects for a total budget of more than 300 million in order exactly to say what I said, to collaborate, to work together. And these projects are sharing the knowledge and the expertise on safe and sustainable by design, chemicals, and advanced materials. For example, it's very difficult for me to pronounce polyfluoroalkyl. I'm a lawyer, so this, okay. And this is really for joining, to show Europe as an example. So collaborative projects are building the bridge between industry, research, academia. And I would like now to spend a few words about my agency, still very young agency, which, again, collaboration is a fil conducteur, we say in French. Why? Because that agency was created 1st of April 2021. And if you remember, and I guess everybody's remember, it was in full period of COVID-19 pandemic. Why I say collaboration? Because the agency was put in place with all the colleagues working together without meeting in person. They never met before. And we succeeded to work together and in the meantime to produce and to make it possible to finance the projects that were essential also to overcome COVID. And I'm very proud to say that now, after 2 years, we are really demonstrating that that agency has an impact. Now, you can ask yourself, why digital and health? In reality, it's very simple. It's sufficient to think about the Green Pass. Are you imagining nowadays progress and in our future without digitalization, without digital transformation? So also by combining programs in different areas that look different, because we manage programs with two main pillars. In research, Horizon Europe, the cluster 1, and also the mission on cancer, but also programs who are supporting the national health in order to have equity also in health, like You for Health, but also food safety, which is a part of the single market program. And the other pillar is the famous cluster 4 we were mentioning also before, and Peter Droll had a nice presentation yesterday, with 3 strengths: digital, industry, and space. Once again, because by putting those projects, those programs that look different areas, we succeed in having a stronger Europe, because the ultimate goal is to have a Europe which is independent, which is more resilient, stronger, and advanced material is one most part of this common goal. Now, I just want to impress you a little bit about the budget. HaDEA is responsible for implementing, on behalf of the Commission, who are delegating to us, 20 billion euros. They are quite equally divided, because a part is, as you can see, the left part of the slide, around more than 10 million is for health, research and sustaining the health in national, as I said, and another part is a cluster 4, but not only. There are also other programs concerning digital, concerning the connecting the big Europe facilities, the 5Gs, the digital backbones, many are now we're talking about all submarine cables, so many new technologies. And again, advanced materials, they're really applied in all these trends. I forgot to say that, because maybe not everybody is very familiar, the Commission, the different services of the Commission responsible for those different programs, and we are working with 6 different directors general, DG RTD Research, Connect, Grow, Industry, and SMEs, but also HERA, the new DGs created in order to intervene in crisis, like it was the case of COVID, but also monkeypox, and we are the agency who bought the vaccines to prevent monkeypox, and DEFIS, because we have the space part, the accessibility to space, again, to make Europe independent in the material working in the space area. But I wanted to say that the Commission is creating the policy, designing the policies together with member states for common goals, but then they delegate to us the implementation of part or totality of the programs I mentioned before. But the circle is closing, because what we observe when managing the programs, and we want to make sure that we give the funds to the excellence, to the best programs through a complex system of evaluation, then we report back to the Commission, the results, but also we can see where the needs are. Because by seeing calls which goes unspent or overspent, we can help the Commission to better address, to better focus in future formal program. As I said, we are partner in this adventure, and the success of the policy depends on the success of the implementation and vice versa. So it's very important to say, because if you are not familiar, sometimes you mix it up, the differentiation in the mandate. So I zoom in, if you allowed me, more in Europe, cluster 1 of Horizon Europe, which is the main subject of today. As I mentioned, these are the four main directorate generals with whom we are working and the ones who delegated to us. And today we have the three strands, digital, industry, and space, but today we should really concentrate on the discussion are concentrated particularly in the digital transformation. And regarding that, I would like to underline that it is essential that the new emerging digital technologies are developed in an ethical way, because it's at the core of the Commission as well, the ethics, while boosting the competitiveness and the environmental sustainability of the economy towards the green Europe, towards a stronger and more resilient Europe. And for that, I repeat, the access to the critical raw materials is very crucial. And so it's very important as well to enlarge the application of advanced material, to develop sustainable products, to guarantee a total autonomy of Europe as a leader in the world. Voilà. I zoom in even more, and I'm going in the part of industry, cluster 4, where we manage and we finance quite important budget, the advanced materials. You see, we have three major raw materials, advanced materials, and sustainable products. Now, I wanted to give you some numbers as well. The agency, HaDEA, is managing currently under the Horizon Europe program 212 projects. If you think we started summer 2021, it's already a big success, for an impressive amount, 1,358 billion. But not only, in order to have a continuity, when the programs were delegated to the agency, we received also the responsibility to implement what we called in our jargon legacy. What does it mean? The projects that were financed under the previous Horizon 2020, but yet ongoing and not finished, so they fall under our responsibility. And it makes sense because we can keep a certain continuity in the system. And still, it's an impressive number because we're talking about 2,166 million and a number of 276 projects. But we closed in these 2 years 413. So if you put all together, it's quite an impressive contribution to the system. To give you an image of because we also work a lot with third countries, association countries, but also international cooperation. So this covers a little bit the entire range of projects funded in this field. And we have more or less 500 running projects in the industry portfolio for a total of 3.5 billion of EU funding. And we cover really, among other areas, we cover the safe and sustainable by design manufacturing and recycling of advanced materials. And in particular, we are in Sweden, so we were counting, there are 103 running projects, which include Swedish either as a coordinator or as a participant. So very good target, I think. Probably you all know we work in consortia. Again, is a leading coordination, the leading collaboration together, because consortia means having numbers of participation, both industry, academia, research, really working together and put all the knowledge together for the same goal. Now, about the present and future, the cluster 4, for the work program 2023, we have 3 calls in total, and we envisage more or less 160 projects to be financed for a total of 720 million just for the industry part. And for the future, 24, so I can announce already, we envisage, because it's foreseen in the work program, 2 calls We expect, it's difficult to say rightly, around 60 projects, so please apply, for 475 million. Now, there will be some novelties. Some of you in the corridors were asking me, what do I think? Let's see and wait, because we are starting now with this novelty, lump sum, which means we will give to the beneficiaries a lump sum, which is, I would say, presented and evaluated before the signature of the contract. It's quite a novelty, so I think we should learn together how to manage and you how to apply it with this new system. There will be also a blind evaluation, which means 2 stages. It's a bit technical for the ones who are not participating, but it's a way of presenting the kind of work we are doing. Now, to go through quite in the advanced materials. As you can see also visually, it's a wide field of application. We really go from ICT, energy, mobility, life science, again, the link with other pillar of HaDEA, healthcare, but also in cosmetics, in food, consumer goods, manufacturing. And there we see that it's a significant spectrum of areas which will cover lots of work of industry. But we can contribute by innovating, by finding new materials in all these fields to, I insist again, I'm a true convinced European, to have a more leadership in these fields in Europe. Now, some examples and successful projects you can, I hope you visited our hubs and my colleagues are here. They can give you more information in concrete. Also some demonstrations were there, some projects I saw also financed by the financing of Horizon 2020, previous program. So you can see in concrete the impact, because maybe you do not realize in the daily life, but many of the novelty in the programs is under our premises. Very quick, I just mentioned, and then the last slide, 3 major projects financed by HaDEA. One is STEM, which developed a new imaging technique able to detect stem cells and clinically relevant levels for treating osteoarthritis. Again, health and new materials application in health. Nanobat, important budget as well. And it's a contribution for the new kind of battery, the lithium-ion batteries, in order to have new cars, in order to avoid the pollution, CO2, and having a new way of transport in Europe. And finally, Karmov, the last one I wanted to mention, where again demonstrated an effective hybrid post-combustion of CO2 capture process based on the 3D printed structure absorbent. I just wanted to mention. And with this, I thank you very much.
Thank you.